Aloha, everyone, and welcome to Phoenix Friday with my special guest, Brandi Lancaster from Brandiwine Design. So, thank you for being here. I am Neil Molokai Mystic, and before we get to our big questions, let me just read Brandi's bio for you. Now, most of you guys know her already, but this is a little behind the scenes bio. So, Brandy lives in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and she
Very
is
cool.
the proud parent and a new grandparent. She is a mixed media artist, a photographer, animal lover, educator, coach, and counselor. She has worn many hats throughout her life, and it has lent her a beautiful toolbox of experience to utilize. Why she creates. Brandy aspires for people to feel her work, not just see it. The pieces she creates are a potential outlet. It's her art therapy. Brandy takes whatever mood, emotion, or challenge is present and channels the energy into the piece. Through its dual purpose, she is able to create a cathartic release and create something inspirational. That is like a whole understatement of your work. I mean, your work is not only inspirational, it is expansive. When we dig deep into these pieces, it's like I'm in awe. Every piece can take me a little deeper depending on what emotion it is that's drawing me to the pieces. And it really is um, a way of being drawn in, you know and then that expansion takes place because I'm an image person. So we are going to be sharing some of her artwork, and she has a special that she's going to be offering to our viewers. So you guys pay attention to the show. Nick will later on put that in the comments for all of you guys to take advantage of. But first, thank you, Brandy, for finally coming on the show. I've been trying to get you for almost a year now to come on the show, and you have finally said yes. So I always ask, I always ask,
Mhm.
what is it in your life, your gifts, and you've worn many hats here.
Mhm.
What is it that you feel really ignited the phoenix in you? And now, how do you help ignite the phoenix in others?
I think that this is one of many firings, um, but I'm learning to embrace them instead of fight them, and I think that has caused, not caused, well, probably caused as well, a real shift in how I view myself.
Mhm.
Um, I think that for a very long time, as empaths and people that just long to help others, are that's how they feel that that's what we need to do, and that's what I felt for so long, until basically I had everything whittled away. Some of us learn and listen well, others of us have to be dropped to our knees. Um, I lost my health. There's so many things that I lost, but what I gained was myself, and um, how I choose to foster this in others is to be honest. Um, I didn't do it right. There's a lot of things I wish I could have done, but if I'm honest with where I'm at, if that can help help somebody else so they don't stumble as hard, or they just turn the stumble into part of the dance, which is what I've really embraced.
I
Um,
love that.
but as open as and transparent as I can be to help others, um, but the biggest thing that I did was take care of myself, and I put myself first, and that was something that took a lot of unlearning. I love you. It To be honest, it took so much unlearning, and I'm still doing it, but I catch it now. I give myself the ease and grace that I used to not. I hear you in my head all the time, ease and grace, ease and grace, ease and grace. But that's what lights me up is to I don't have all the answers. Yeah, no. Um, but I'm an open book and want to share.
I think that's beautiful. And when we allow ourselves to be openly vulnerable, it is empowering. It is empowering not only for ourselves, but it is empowering for others. It gives them permission to step
Yeah,
into their own authenticity and their vulnerability. And when we share, we teach. That's what teaching is. This is what supporting other people is. And I love that you say, I don't know it all. Because, when we step into the energy of I know it all, boy, do we have a lot to learn. Okay. Because we are all both student and teacher. And the journey continues. And you've been through a lot, and I can see it and I can feel it in your artwork. Um, but the strongest still gets put into the hottest flames, you know? So take flight when you can, and don't worry about when you dive down a little bit, because then you just get that spark behind you and say, okay, it's time to lift up again. It's this flow that we go through, you know? Um,
and the only way that an arrow can be launched is to be drawn back.
Pull
There you
that
go.
puppy back, baby, you know?
Hmm.
Absolutely. Um, so when you've worn all these different hats in your life, um, and you're a photographer too. Okay. So I noticed, because I love when you're sharing that your little light box, that you've got going on. When you take photographs of your work, how do you know when the photo is right? I mean, there's something you're trying to capture in each piece. How do you know when that photograph is the one that you want the world to see? Mind you, guys, she has no idea what questions I'm going to ask her. Nobody does when they come on the show except for that first question. I don't even know what questions I'm going to ask. So,
Um, Ironically, it's one of those things where when I go back and to get the website up, I had to go back and see several pieces that I didn't have out. And I don't know if it was the exact choosing this one, but it reignited the love of I each piece has its own heartbeat, I guess is the easiest say, and it depends on what is in it, um as to what I want to have come across. It makes me think of the okay, so I can cook but I don't bake because you have to measure with baking. um Yeah, I don't do that. But what comes to mind is I just kind of keep going until the somebody goes, "That's enough, child," and typically it's just that's the one. And there's some that I'm just like, okay, I took that, I just shot it once. Okay, fine, whatever. Um, it's just
Yeah.
the more I can pull my head out of it and just let it flow. It it's whether it's working with the painting or in the photography, it just has a feel. And if I can get my head out of the way and just run with the feeling.
Yeah. And this is why when I introduced this event, it was an intuitive artist, because what you just said, that right there, each piece has its own heartbeat. And what I'm hearing is, when it's complete, because
Mhm,
the heartbeat of the piece and your heartbeat are now resonating and beating as one.
mhm,
And this is what I feel when you are taking all of these pictures, which is the correct picture, because
mhm.
this one speaks to the heart. It resonates for each one. It might be a little bit different lighting, a little, just something. There is something that you tweak until you get it right, you know. So I love that. Um, so how long have you been interested in putting your emotions on canvas?
Um, I have always found a creative outlet. I have worked in you name it. I've done so many different mediums. I paint, draw, woodwork, jewelry, um, clay. I've played with everything. Um, and I just lost the question. Holy hell! Sorry.
It was what inspired you to start putting it on canvas, you know. I mean, it's not just on canvas, because you have jewelry as well,
Oh
but
yeah.
the
Um
canvas pieces are very unique in that not only why I say they're unique, and I understand that it is a canvas, there's a canvas, but you allow not only the expression of your emotions to flow through the image, but you also shape the canvases. I noticed that you've got triangle canvases and circle canvases and square canvases and rectangle canvases, and you allow not only the image but the shape of the canvas to speak to you. So that's why I said, what inspired you to start putting your emotions onto canvas?
I needed an outlet. I was swallowing, stuffing,
Mm.
and uh, um, not in the healthiest of manners. Working on it. And I think it just when I first started the acrylic pour, and I just watched YouTube videos, and everybody does. But I hit this point of I can do this. I need to do this. I need to do this now. And I'm like, okay, fine. Went out and got the stuff, and it just sorry, this is not pretty, but I felt like I kind of just puked all over the canvas, but I got it out. And it was like, okay, I can deal with this now. There was so much, um, that it made it manageable. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Um,
because you let it flow in your pour. You know, it's a beautiful release. And you might say you just kind of puked it out, but I would say you let it flow out. Um,
the first time, woohoo! But yes,
but I love that, because it was something, it was a release that was, uh, I want to say it was not a detailed release, like, with a paintbrush, because I'm also an artist, or a pencil. It's like you're releasing little by little, but you were like, you know what? Boom, baby, this needs to come out, and just let it flow out. Whereas with a paintbrush, you're allowing it to come out, but it's a slower, more intimate process in doing it. But then when you can see the beauty of that release, it's really expressed in your artwork.
And I think that there's 2 points that I would like to foster with that. In that, I have when I go in to paint, I check all expectations at the door. I'll pick the style, I'll pick the color, but it's okay. How is this going to present? And I don't say, okay, I'm going to make flowers today, because oh, holy hell, that just does not work. It's like, okay, what needs to come out? How can I work with it? And it's a surprise. It's like
Mhm.
Christmas every time I paint. It's like, yay. Um, and it changes. That's what I love about it. It's one of those things of, I have a piece that I literally rotate on very regular occurrence. I don't sign anything on the front. I refuse to ground a piece, because you will see different things in it. And you'll have it this way, and then all of a sudden, 2 days later, you're going to switch it. And that, to me, it's kind of like the gift that keeps on giving, because you keep delving into yourself and you see new things, and that lights me up.
And this is why I really liked the circle canvas, because you can shift it according to what it is that you need to connect with in the moment.
Mhm.
Because if you guys look at her pieces, it's like you can see different images and expressions depending on the angle that you're looking at. So don't put yourself in a box by thinking
Exactly.
it has to be in this one position, because when you move it, your energy moves too, you know. So I love that you have these different frames that you do have, the different size shapes and stuff like that. um, so for me, and this is going to be directed at you, so patience here. For me, my artwork, I've been doing artwork all my life. Okay, but it wasn't until 12 years ago that I actually shared my work. Okay, so and that was a really big heart racing, because it's so personal to me. The
Uh-huh.
type of work that I do, the 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 channeled work, they're not my pieces, but yet they're very personal to me. And then all of a sudden, I'm being told my work is going to be in an art show, and I'm going, breathe, breathe, breathe. No, I can't breathe, because I can't even remember how to breathe, because I can't think right now. So what?
I was there 20 minutes ago.
So what is it that really said to you, I'm stepping out, I'm taking the lead, other than me telling you, do it, do it, do it? Um, what is it that said, yes, I am taking this leap. This is to be shared with the world.
um how I knew, or we're going to work backwards, is when I first, I've had so many beautiful moments, so many beautiful moments. Um, but even when I considered, so putting my stuff out there, people are like, how are you going to separate from your pieces? And I'm like, they're not mine anymore.
Yeah.
And until I said that, it was like, oh damn, okay. It it was mine to create, and I believe that the pieces are, the pieces will find the people they're meant for.
Yeah,
And it's
I love
just I have to follow through and make it available. And that took me a while to get around.
that. Yeah.
Um, and that's okay. That's the thing that I used to feel like, okay, I'm so far behind. I should be doing this. No, right now, where I'm at is perfect. Perfectly imperfect. That's me.
That's great. Okay. Now, have you found that there are certain pieces that you've created that are not meant to fly on their own, but are meant specifically for you?
Um, hmm. There are certain pieces that I am attached to, and I currently keep. Um, I have them all around my room just because it keeps me connected and keeps me grounded. Will it change? Well, eventually, because I'm going to run out of wall space and somebody's going to get replaced. Um, Truth.
Do you see
Um,
my walls?
um, I, th- I don't know if you guys can see what this is. The one. This is Point Break. This collection was one of the first ones that really lent me to um, put some thought into that I seriously can do this. That
Mm,
more than just as something to play with. So those three aren't going anywhere. I will keep them forever. Outside of that, I don't know.
mm.
That's a good question. But at this point, there's like, I mean, if somebody comes and says, I really love that picture, I'm just going to say, okay, fine. Because
Because
can I
then you
make,
know their heart's connected to it, and then you'll feel that
oh,
it's time for it to go. It's time for it to fly.
yep.
It's like our babies. Um, we're meant to give birth to them. We're not meant to marry them. They can stay
Mhm.
in our home for the amount of time that it's needed for them to grow and spread their wings. But once they're ready to spread their wings, we kind of know it. You know, um, I love that. Um, so Nick's got some of the pictures. She actually went to the website. You guys, Nick has also been dropping the website link in, and there is this beautiful special offer. So you want to tell us about this offer? And this is so generous of you. So thank you for sharing it with our viewers. Um, so this. I mean, come on, guys. She is newly out there with this new website, and she is gracious enough to share this discount special with our viewers. So tell us a little bit about that. What inspired you to give us a? I love the number 22, by the way.
Well, that's
Um,
why. I mean, it was one of those things. It's like, okay, how can we? Okay, y- for those of you that don't know, I'm technologically challenged. The website, I have a um, amazing soul that has come alongside and helped me immensely. Leo, I love you. You are awesome, and thank you. And he's like, okay, you can do like a percentage or $1 off, and I'm just like, I have no idea. He's like, okay, what's the name? And I'm like, Phoenix, because that's where we are, and that's what I'm doing. Yay! And he's like, okay, percentage, and I'm like, oh, gravy. And I just like, okay, this is Nick and Neil. This is my heart, and you guys are 22 with birthdays, so it just felt right, and I'm just like, okay, fine.
oh, thank you. So what this is, guys, is you are given a code word, which is Phoenix, all in capital letters. Thank you, Nick, for bringing that up. And you will receive 22% off the entire order. So go to her website, check it out. Nick has her link in the comments. Brandiwinedesigns.com. And the work. Okay. I didn't tell Brandy that we were going to do this until like the very last minute. But Nick is going to bring up some pictures, and now you guys are going to be able to experience the emotions that went into these pictures. And what I love about Nick taking these pictures from directly from your website is that people will get to experience the black light effect on some of these images. And what inspired you to do the black light effect? I thought that was a really cool touch to that.
What lights me up about the black light is that they're beautiful on their own, but if you view something in a different light, it brings on a whole new different feeling.
I love
And
looking at something from a different perspective, you know? It's like,
yes,
oh,
yes, yes.
beautiful. Okay, so are you ready for this?
Okay. Do, do, do.
Ooh, explosive. So this is one of her pieces. The title is there, explosive. Um, and this one is a black light image, right?
Mhm. Yep.
So if you go to the website, all you have to do is like run your mouse over the image, and it gives you the effect of what it would look like in a black light environment. You know, you should sell black lights on your website too. Just saying.
I,
Okay.
I will say that they and I bumble over this because they have lights. They're red, green, blue. I don't know. They're lights that you put around your TV or whatever. The
Mhm.
blue lights set off the fluorescent paint. So I have some in my room and they light up everything because I just love it. Um, Explosive was one of the first ones that I did with the fluorescent paint, and literally it was the word that comes is release. It was just such. This is probably one of the. Yes, it's letting it flow, but it was not a pretty flow. It was more of a puke, and it just hit, and I guess it came down to the point of I allowed it to come out. Um,
How did you feel once you knew it was complete? It's like there a feeling when you're just getting started, and then uh, um, what is the completion feeling? What emotions do you go through once you know that a picture is
it's done.
it's out there? Yeah.
Out there, it's done. There's such a range of emotion because so much of the initial part is surprise me. What are we gonna do? It's almost like I came up with the name Brandiwine Design because Brandiwine was a moniker from my grandfather. It's what he used to call me when I was a kid. Um, and my intent is that childlike abandon of just woohoo, let's see what's gonna happen. Um, and that's literally the design. That's my intent. It's it's just the release. Yeah, yeah.
I love the Brandywine design. I mean, I wasn't sure where that name came from. I pictured you drinking wine while you're painting, you know?
That's with my other friend, but it's all good. No, it um yeah, it's the connection to you want to go inner child, but it's really not, because it's still me.
Mhm.
um but it's m- me giving myself permission to just let go and see what happens. um yeah.
Okay, so let's check out a different frame here.
Next one.
This is a circle frame.
Mhm.
Okay, again, guys, you get especially the circle one, even the triangle one. If you shift it and you move with that energy,
Mhm.
um, it's a beautiful experience, you guys. I mean, you can't. That's what you should do. You should be able to move your pictures in, but like if you just tilt and you see the different image and the flow of this. So this is copper flow,
Mhm.
and this is one of her circle ones, and she has um, the frames in different sizes as well, you guys. So what what were you going through with this one, copper flow?
Okay. This isn't a frame. This actually is a wood circle. So it's 5.5 inch wood circle, and it's actually like a half inch thick. Um, I use them for, for, I have it under my altar. I use it as a coaster. I'm sitting here going, this, that there's a set on the thing, and the word didn't come. Coaster, coaster. Um, this one, um, this was a point where I was working through, and it really didn't. Um, you understand how sometimes you know that you need to do things, but you can't. And it was just like, sometimes you just have to let go and let it flow. And that's where we hit.
Mhm.
Because anytime you're fighting upstream, the only thing you're doing is tiring yourself out.
Yeah. And I saw a lot of that in that image, and I like the copper flow and the green and the copper coloring of it. And there was a part of that image where I could visualize a person on their hands and knees,
Yep.
you know, and that flow and that healing that's just like saying, just rise through it and allow yourself to move, um, and step into that healing energy. But that one for me really felt like a healing piece. So, so what's next, Nick? Energy bleed. Oh my goodness, this is magnificent, and it reminds me of a raw crystal. Actually, this is really cool. Um, so let's talk about energy bleed.
Okay. And I'm sitting here going, I I accept the picture that you see. It doesn't give her justice. That's the one thing that I have been so frustrated with. It's a it's just a painting, but you're, without seeing it, you don't, there's a depth that you don't get unless you see it. And that's the thing that's kicking out at me right now. It's like, she's a lot prettier in person. Sorry.
They
Um
usually are.
um this one has so much what keeps coming up, it's the there's so much energy behind me, you. Um, there's so much backing that um, we should rely on, but we don't. Um,
Mm,
to know that there's more than just me.
yeah, yeah. And some people might take that energy bleed as that energy bleeding out, and it becomes a drain. Where I look at that image, and for me, it's the heartbeat. It is blood is that life force energy. It's running through your heart. It's running through your vessel, your sacred vessel, and it is that heartbeat that keeps us all connected. You
Yeah.
know, and so when I think of energy bleed, I think of blood. And when I think of blood, I think of heart. And I think of heart, I think of that unity of us all shining brighter together, you
Mhm.
know. So um, I love that. I love all your pieces. It's just like, you know. Oh, this is so cool. Snaking tunnel. This is a very powerful piece. And of course, I'm feeling that rainbow energy going, Raz, Archangel Raz. Um,
Mhm.
so, so what is this one saying? When somebody looks at this and the energy that you put into it, um, what is it that this one is really steps out and shares immediately? You know, I know right away. I'm just like, oh, big giant hug from Raz. I can do anything. He's just helping me shed anything that doesn't serve me, and he's
Mhm.
igniting me, and I'm growing, and I'm flowing, and I'm expanding. This is a great piece.
Thank you. Um, so much um, wrapping it up into what I need to get out. That's where this one was. This just it was a day that I didn't know what I was doing, but it needed to come out, and I sat and played with this, which I don't typically do. Um, I remember this one. So yeah, yeah.
Well, I love that each piece, the energy that you're putting into it in the initial moment of needing to have that therapy outlet, and then the creation and that flows out from that initial I need this therapy.
Hmm.
It's almost as if, when you're dreading having to go to have a conversation with somebody. In this case, you're having a conversation with yourself and your guides. Even that, I'm like, "Hey, really, guys, I don't want to talk to you right now." But,
But
but
I'm not the only one.
yeah, I argue with my guides all the time. But it's it's you feel like you need that release, and the unexpected beauty that is on the opposite end of that conversation. That's what ends up being expressed in the pieces. It's almost as saying, this what you thought was a shadow is actually the shiniest tool in your toolbox right now. you know and you don't see it at the beginning of this conversation with your release session. you know
Oh,
but the
definitely.
end result is so enlightening. It's like, here you were saying, I played with this. You were meant to play with it. Anytime, especially anytime we do something that we don't normally do, but we feel called to do it in the moment,
Hmm.
you were meant to express a little bit more, get a little bit more out, and then you have this beautiful, beautiful, inspiring piece. you know so I love that, how you know I get a little more demanding with my guides and my artwork, because I'm like, I ain't doing that. No, no, wrong artist. Go knock on somebody else's door. And of course, if it's your calling, they keep calling until you actually get it out.
Hmm.
Um, So Nick has another piece to show. Positive charge. Look at this energy. This has got some energy to it.
Hmm.
Woohoo. Oh man. So what is coming through for you when you look at this piece?
Um, this was one of my overzealous days. You can. It's one of those things. I had somebody walk up at a show, and he's like, "You can just feel the different feelings from it's not just an all-encompassing, oh, this is how it is. It's each piece has its own flavor. um yeah, that one was a very not grounded day.
This one really for me, it has the emotions and the joy and the empowerment. I mean, it has the healing, it has all these different things, but for me this one is speaking really of how we require that personal grounding in order to handle the energies that are around us because we're all connected. So we feel that vibration of the world, and it's how we allow ourselves to stay connected in our grounding and our emotions and finding the joy in things with that yellow pop in there. It's just, I get chills when I look at that one. So So now we're going to go with another piece here. Nick, this is a triangle piece, and this one actually really caught my eye um, when I was looking at the website. The image in the middle, and then with the black light effect on this one. Nick, can you scroll over the black light
Like,
effect?
go to the black light, go to the black light.
Yes, the black light effect on this one is look at that. Ah, I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
this is, oh, it's in the cart. Oh, okay. Okay, guys. Well, I think Nikki's got that one. That one I think is spoken for you guys. So now we all get to talk about Nikki's piece here. So I love this. I love this piece. This was really one that I was personally drawn to because it is so powerful, both in the regular light and the black light. The
Hmm.
the potency of this piece is it really speaks to my heart. So
And I
what
adore the
what is
triangle.
this? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. Ah, okay. I love that. I love that. So what was this one? What were you going through with this one?
A lot of this was just there was I was so stoked about the triangle. This was my first set of triangle canvases, and I adore triangles. And so it was a ton of experimentation. I don't have that many of the triangles left anymore. We'll get there. Um, this one, it was just, what can I, it was just a, what can I show? What can I put out there that is not the standard? I mean, you see the square and the rectangle, and that's the norm. And so I wanted to push beyond myself, basically.
You wanted to open the box,
Yeah.
you know? And this also speaks to that inner light leading you in your dance steps when you stumble, you
Oh,
know? I mean, the image on there, that little figure, it's like, yes, I can dance. Yes, I can feel, because music moves the soul, and
yes.
and we do stumble in life. And this is why it was like for me, the darkness that was expressed on the regular light, and then that boom, rainbow power. So I mean, this is what your artwork does to me. It moves me, you know. I love the inner light with the dark light. Yes. Oh my God. That is. It's so super, super cool piece. Now you don't only just do on canvas and wood, you also do jewelry. So Nick's going to bring up some of your jewelry pieces here. So look at this. I love it. And you cut this yourself, or are these
Oh no,
pieces? Oh,
no.
because I know you do woodwork too. So
Yes.
um, I love the softness in this and the petals, and I like that some of the petals are open. Oh my God, look at this. You guys, it's time to go to a rage. Where these things go, we go to, and
Hmm.
but and there are like healing centers that have these different lightings as well, and
Hmm.
you're wearing these, and it's like such a space for this connection to take place, because you have it right there by your ear. You're open to hearing the divine, and it's right there at your throat chakra, standing in your truth. And you know that throat chakra is automatically connected to your heart chakra. So with this and the image on there, that flower and that blossoming and the petals, and it's soft, um, look at how cute these are. This is more like a Nikki. She was actually wearing a headband that had those flowers on it the other day. This see, I'm more of a little rough around the edges type of person, but these flowers kind of remind me of my Nick. So,
Hmm.
so when you are doing the jewelry, what is it that you are saying, this piece is something that you wear? This is art. This, when I feel like, just this is just my interpretation here, but you can tell me what you think, is when I see handcrafted jewelry, I feel like it becomes living art when people wear it. you know it becomes part of their heartbeat, part of their dance, because it's an expression of themselves, or they wouldn't be putting it on their body you know but so for me, handmade artistic jewelry is, it's like bringing your work to life. It's a living work of art as soon as somebody puts it on.
Um, that's beautiful. Um, I, where it or how it came about, it was just a there is no way for me to literally recreate my stuff, and to be able to get something that looks semi close with the earrings. Here, I even have some. Let's see if we can actually show you. Um, to ooh, he's crooked. There we go. But to get anything that has, yes, there's black in this one and black in that one, and to have them similar, um, it's a unique process, and I relish in the it not being perfect. I'm a big proponent of the imperfectly perfect. Um, but the intent behind the jewelry, it is, everybody is beautiful, and to be able to express that, and to embrace that, um, and to show a little bit of your personality is, to me, amazing. And it is it's wearing my art, but it's showcasing you.
Yeah, I love, yeah, exactly. It's like
Yeah,
getting, when somebody gets a tattoo, there's a
yeah.
story. It's part of their essence, and I feel like when somebody puts something on them, they adorn themselves. It's representing something, you know. It's representing the energy that they're in. It's like if I wear a t-shirt and it's got a grumpy face on it because I didn't get my coffee yet, this is the energy I'm stepping in. And look at that. See, that expression, that heart. And I love that perfectly imperfect. Um, when I started my artwork, and my auntie Darling, she's a magnificent artist. Um, I drew a rose, and I was so detailed on this rose. Everything had to be perfect on it. Every petal, every thorn, every accent of the leaf, and she hated it. She was like, "That's too perfect." And I'm like, "Well, I wanted it to be perfect." She says,
Isn't
nature is perfectly imperfect. It
perfect.
is it is that uniqueness of everything that makes it perfect. You know, it's
Hmm.
that it's all of the little torques and the funky bend in this petal and this, smoothness in this other petal that makes it perfect. It's that imperfection. And so I always took that lesson with me. I was really young, but it was a big eye opener for me in my artwork that it is the differences in it, not those exact um, measurements. It's just the energy of that imperfection that nature speaks to us and says all is perfect. You
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
it's crazy, but I really feel you when you say that perfect imperfection. So Nick's got some other earrings out in the background. Look at this. It's that energy. Oh my God, in that black light. I love
Hmm.
that. I love how you have that yellows in with the blues, and it's like the sun and the sea all put together here. It's like heaven and earth all mixed up. The
So if she finds one that has the white card on it, I don't
white.
even know. Okay, so see the white
Look at
cards?
all of these. Yeah,
Okay.
look at all of these.
So the white cards are ones that I legitimately made. They it's for when you have allergies. See if you can get
Hypoallergenic post
hypoallergenic.
earring.
I'm trying to get to this camera, sorry. They're actually plastic. So I just bought little shapes and glued them little buggers on the back. Um because not everybody can wear metal. Everybody can
Right.
wear these. Um but to me it's one of those things of when you come up against something, what how can you work around it?
Very good.
um because I want it I'm make it available to everybody,
Yeah.
I guess is the kind of the uh, that was made for mom. My mom's got serious allergies, so now she can wear them too. So
No, that is a very important thing to promote. um, the fact that you are taking that into consideration, because there are a lot of people that can't, you
mhm.
know,
Yep.
and they want to. Look at these pieces right here. This is just so heart based right here. I love that. I love that. So you guys, look at the. She's got all kinds of stuff going on. You can walk around and be your own living work of art as you wear this. You're a great artisan. You're a great intuitive. You have such a big heart. I can't say enough about your pieces, and the fact that you are having a special for all of our viewers, 22% off if you use the code Phoenix in all capital letters. Um, Go to her website, check it out. You guys can join her Facebook group where she posts some of her pictures and gives you guys heads up on what's going to be available and what she's got going on. She's got some exhibits coming up that you've got, like, for the next few months. You're booked, woman. You're out there. You're flying high, getting your Phoenix on. Um, there's a lot of people out there that were like me, that I had been doing my art since I was knee high to a caterpillar. I never stepped out until someone that I loved very, very much said, "We're doing an art show together," you know? And you went big. I always knew you would just boom, baby bubble, get it. And so you got your website going, you're stepping into this, you are in the awareness of your physicalness and how you are feeling during this journey.
Hmm.
But you also are allowing yourself to be guided. So you're honoring both your physical and your spiritual, and kudos to you. I'm like, proud mama bear status, you know me. But speaking to those that are in the closet artisans and want to get their work out there,
Do it.
well, what would you tell in the closet artisans? What would you tell them?
Leap.
How could you inspire them to step out? You know,
If it sets your soul on fire, um, I take this to the technical side because that's where I struggled, and it was a challenge. But you have to be willing to suck at something for a while. But the joy, the pride, um, the inspiration for others, um, that's why I do it. Um, and that's why I choose to help anybody that wants to. I mean, just believe in yourself. That's all you got to
okay.
do.
And
And leap.
whenever you feel like you're on shaky ground,
Suck to
I
thrive.
want you to go back and I want you to watch the replay of this show and the words you just shared with everyone else, because that support is what it takes, and sometimes we need to hear our own words.
Yes, mama.
Yes, proud mama bear status right here. Um,
And if anybody needs me to tell them to leap, call me, text me. I it's you need that. I've been so incredibly blessed to have people come alongside and say, "You can do this. You can do this. Come on my show. You need to come on my show. Come on my show. Are you gonna? Are you ready yet? Working on it." But in all of that, it was the baby carrot that I knew was out there, and I was getting to it, but I knew it was there, and I there were times that you guys believed in me more than I believed in myself, and that got me through until I could stand on my own feet.
I still have believing eyes too. I believe in you. You are awesome, and your
Thank you.
work speaks more than a million words. You feel it. You accomplished exactly what you tried to do in the first place, which was, I don't want people to just look at my art. I want them to feel it. And girlfriend, you do. You do just that. I'm so proud of you.
I can't cry.
So thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing, for being authentic, for being vulnerable, for just being you, for just being you. So it is Aloha from me, as I say, we shine brighter.
Together.
Bye bye, everybody. And take advantage of her offer. It is only until March 3rd, guys. So go check out her website. So I love you all. And thank you for supporting our Brandy. And thank you, Brandy, for being with us today.